What's up, sports fans? This is the Lucas Ross Sports Channel, and our 2023 college football predictions continue for the 2023 college football season. Up next are the Boston College Eagles, a team coming off a very disappointing season in 2022. I was not really high on this team, though, from last year's team. They went 3-9 overall in 2022, but looking at this team in 2023, I think they're going to be really competitive. I think they're going to be really good. You look at the overall production for this team coming back, they do return about 78% overall their production this season, 79% on the defense, 78% on the offensive side of the football. I think this team is going to be really good. I think they have what it takes to probably make it to a bowl game this year. They're going to have options at quarterback, but I think this is going to be a really competitive Boston College team, like I said. And you look at the schedule, no North Carolina or Clemson on the schedule, and obviously no Duke on the schedule, but they do have to play Florida State, which I think that'll be their toughest game there outside of those top three teams from last year. So, but I think Boston College does have a favorable schedule, and they non-conference schedule. They'll play NIU, Holy Cross, and also Army and UConn. UConn's a rematch from last year. That will be an interesting game there. They got beat by that UConn team, so it's kind of like a revenge game, and this time they do get them at home. But let's go game by game now and give you an official prediction for this Boston College team. So you got two non-conference games here to start out the month of September with NIU and Holy Cross. I think Boston College wins those two games pretty easily. I don't think they have any problems whatsoever here, and I think the offense kind of gets off to a pretty good start with those two games. And I think those are games where I think Boston College should score about 30 or 40 points in both of those games, and then they'll open up ACC play against Florida State here on September 16th. A lot of production coming back for this Florida State team, a veteran experienced team. The defense is going to be really strong for the Seminoles. I kind of expect this one to be a low-scoring type game. I think Boston College's offense will keep Florida State's defense for most of on the field, but I think Florida State, what they're going to want to do is pass the football in this game against this Boston College secondary. I mean, it's going to be a pretty interesting game. I think Boston College will compete for a half or two, but end of the day, I think the experience of Florida State and their defense will come up with some big-time plays, and I think the Seminoles do win it here in a close one over Boston College. So I think Florida State will win that one and give Boston College their first loss of the season. And I got Boston College starting out 2-1. Then they'll play Louisville on the road here on September 23rd. I did Louisville's prediction last week. I already predicted Louisville to win this game. Louisville's a team that's going to have a lot of transfers coming in. They're going to have a new rebuild as well. Not like a new rebuild because like a new head coach and anything. They were good last year, but, this is kind of like a different step for Louisville. They're going to have a new coaching staff, and we hope Louisville can get back to where they used to be in the ACC, where they were the third best team in there. I think this is going to be an interesting game, though. I think Boston College will compete in this game. I think this game probably goes into the fourth quarter as well. With that being said, I think the Cardinals, though, with home field advantage in a coin flip type game for me, I think the Cardinals get the win here over Boston College in a close one-score type ball game. And I think that puts Boston College's record at 2-2. Then they'll play Virginia here at home on September the 30th. Virginia's a team I don't expect to be all that good. This team is going to be pretty young on the offensive side of the football. Defensively, I'm really concerned about that side of the football as well. I really don't see this game being all that close. I think Boston College wins pretty easily here over Virginia. And I got them taking care of business against Army, even though this game is on the road. I mean, Army is going to want to run that triple option and run out the clock. I think it's a low-scoring type game, but I think Boston College will get the win here over Army, and that puts their record at 4-2. They get a bye week after that Army game, and it comes at a pretty good time. They play Georgia Tech on the road here on October 21st. Georgia Tech's got a decent amount of production coming back this year. I think this is going to be a pretty good Georgia Tech team. I think they're going to be definitely better where they were from last year. I mean, they made some progress last year with the team they had as well. So I kind of expect this game to be a fourth-quarter tight game. Boston College will compete, and obviously Georgia Tech will be competitive in this game as well. I don't expect it to be a high-scoring game. I think I kind of expect this one to be a low-scoring type game, kind of similar, to the Florida State game. But I think Georgia Tech, it's a coin flip type game for me. I think the Yellow Jackets will get the win here over Boston College. It won't be a game that's going to be a blowout, though. I think Boston College, though, will compete in this one, but I think Georgia Tech does win it here with home field advantage at the end of the day. So I got Boston College now falling to 4-3. Then they'll play UConn here at home on October 28th. This is a revenge game here for Boston College. The game was pretty close last year, but I think UConn was overall the better team. Boston College just didn't really have that type of great season as well. So I'm kind of expecting Boston College to be ready for this one. They're ready for revenge on this UConn team. And with that being said, I think Boston College gets the win here. Not by a couple touchdowns, maybe by a field goal, maybe about 10 points or maybe double digits, somewhere in that range. But I think Boston College gets the win here and gets revenge on this UConn team. Then they improve to 5-3 after that win over UConn. Then it's Syracuse on the road here on November 3rd. I think people are sleeping on this Syracuse team. This team has a lot of production coming back, decent amount of production, and both of these teams are pretty similar. This game will be on a Friday night as well. I think both of these teams are pretty similar in returning production. Boston College does have the more experience coming back, but this is going to be a really interesting game, high-scoring game perhaps into the fourth quarter. But Syracuse, it comes down to home field advantage for me when it comes to these 50-50 games, and the Orange do have home field advantage in this one. I just did Syracuse's prediction a couple days ago as well, but I think Syracuse does get it done here over Boston College and gives them their fourth loss of the season. So I got Boston College now falling to 5-4. Next game is at home against Virginia Tech here on November 11th. Virginia Tech is a team that I don't expect to be all that good this year. It's hard to tell how good this team is going to be. Even though they have a lot of production coming back on the offensive side of the football, I just don't really see this team being all that good. Plus, Boston College, after a loss to Syracuse, I think will be motivated enough in this game. I think Boston College gets the win here. Not by a couple touchdowns, but I think they'll at least win by at least a touchdown, perhaps, over Virginia Tech, and they get that win there and get to a bowl game with 6 wins. Boston College improves to 6-4. Then it's Pittsburgh on the road after that. Pittsburgh's a team that's going to lose quite a bit of production on the offensive side of football. Defensively is what concerns me about this Pittsburgh team this year. I mean, Boston College has the more experienced team in this one. The question is, do they have the talent to beat this Pittsburgh team? Plus, this game is going to be on a Thursday here, and you know Boston College is going up against their former quarterback, Phil Jerkoff, coming over to Pittsburgh this year. I mean, that's going to be a pretty interesting storyline. There's so many storylines here in this game, but Pittsburgh, at the end of the day, is at home in this one. It's kind of hard to predict against Pittsburgh when you're playing at home against this Boston College team. And I think Pittsburgh gets it done. I think Pittsburgh wins it here in a close one over Boston College, and it gives them their 5th loss of the season. So I got Boston College now falling to 6-5. Then it's Miami here to end things out, also on a Friday night game. This will be their 2nd Friday night game of the season. Miami's going to have a pretty good team this year. I think they're going to be definitely better than they were last year. A lot of production coming back on that defensive side of the football. Offensively, they lose quite a bit of talent, but you bring back Tyler Van Dyke at quarterback. Like I said, when I did Miami's prediction video, this was not going to be an easy game for Miami. Boston College is going to compete in this game for all the fourth quarter because with all that production they have coming back, I think they can really get, many experience at the quarterback position as well. I think this Boston College team is better by this time, but it's really hard to predict against Miami as well. I just think Miami's overall talent is there for them, and with that being said, I think the Hurricanes win here in a close one over Boston College. I think Boston College will lose their final game of the regular season here at home against Miami, but don't get me wrong, it's a winnable game for Boston College and definitely an upset alert type game as well. But I got Boston College finishing 2023 with a record of 6-6. I think that's a fair prediction for this Boston College team. Again, the schedule really sets up nicely for them to have a really good season. I mean, there's potential they can go 7-5, 8-4 perhaps, but I think best case scenario would probably be 7-5. Worst case would probably be 5-7 or 4-8. But it would really shock me if this team did go 5-7 or 4-8 because I think the schedule really sets up nicely for them. Again, no North Carolina, no Clemson on the schedule, and no Duke on the schedule as well. So that's my prediction for the Boston College Eagles for 2023. It's 6-6. Let me guys know what you think about this Boston College team. What do you think their record is for 2023? And stay tuned here for more sports content videos on the Lucas Ross Sports Channel.